Hello everybody, and welcome back to the following video of Simulate It Yourself. In the previous video, we introduced the role of simulation of urban flows to inform participatory processes. As well, we built our very first traffic simulation based on real data. I hope that you enjoyed and that you were able to run it successfully. As we were saying, the simulations can show clearly and in an understandable way the impact of our own choices in city making. More important than their predictive power, it is their prospective capacity to advance the possible effects or outcomes of our decision making, of our lifestyles. And hence, they make possible to explore alternative scenarios. In particular, in this video, we are going to explore this, simulating and analyzing what-if scenarios applied to the case of traffic simulation, and which is more compelling to us, what we can learn from these simulations and why we think that they are useful. For those of you who may be familiar with experiment design, this comparison between different what-if scenarios can be seen as well as some sort of expansion of the typical A/B testing. So let's imagine a city, let's say New York City. Wouldn't it be great to be able to explore the effects of pedestrianizing a public space? Meaning, what if we close this street section to regular traffic and give more room for pedestrians? Or in Paris, what if we create a new bike lane on this street? What's their effects? So let's go back to our original scenario 1 in Barcelona, the one that we used in our previous video. For the sake of simplicity, we have reduced the network, keeping the most distinctive features of the regular part of the urban grid. This basic alternative is the alternative 1, our baseline scenario. Barcelona is a very suitable location for testing alternative hypotheses, as the city is proposing important changes in the urban network, following the principle of the so-called superblocks. The main idea behind those superblocks is to turn the current situation, look at the regular intersection of two streets in the downtown area, to this, more space for pedestrians and other types of mobility, and reducing the space for cars. Between half and 2/3 of the streets should be transformed into residential streets. So we can simulate different scenarios to try to anticipate how they may work. We start with our baseline scenario, the alternative 1. And now we can say, what if we try a different 2x2 superblock pattern? But as well, we can try to extend the 3x3 superblock pattern proposed by the city of Barcelona, or even we keep the diagonal avenues that cross the city. Are they that beneficial? Or as well, like even more. As in the previous video, you can find all these models, all these scenarios ready to run in the files of the course. And you can try as well to make your own edits, your own models by editing, by changing and modifying the provided networks. By checking the results of these simulations, we can see how, surprisingly, the grid with the diagonal avenue is underperforming when compared with the regular grid, our initial baseline scenario. And this is very interesting and very intriguing, as it is opposed to the common intuition of lots of people about creating shortcuts for improving traffic conditions, or about giving more space to private vehicles. As a side note, if you are interested in feeding your curiosity, this could be considered as an example of the so-called price paradox. So you can look for more information of this effect if you are interested. But all this situation is very interesting as it brings us back to our original question about why these simulations are so useful and valuable. And certainly we can point out to their informative power. Usually when people, particularly non-experts, namely citizens, need to understand a new policy or city-making proposal, they have a very hard time to process it, to understand it, to grasp it. Frequently, they need to face to abstract proposals that even nobody really understands them in a very deep way, or to very technical documents that are very complicated to follow. Or they just rely on nice, well-curated, idealized visualizations. By using these tools that we are proposing in these lectures, we try to overcome these limitations. The goal is making people more aware in an easy way of the effects of the policies that they are considering and inform their decisions. As well, these tools promote exploring and interacting with different possibilities to increase their understanding of the variables and available options, and as well of their potential outcomes. As a result, it will be possible to provide a better information in richer participatory processes to make them more resistant to failure. By doing this, we will be supporting and enhancing the development and co-creation of more sustainable, participatory, and resilient cities. This is our ultimate goal. Well, this is the final. Thank you so much for sticking with me during these videos. I hope that you have found interesting and useful this short introduction to urban simulation techniques and how they are connected to participation. Hopefully, it is just the beginning of future research projects for you. See you soon, and of course, if you have any further questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Bye.